Are you waking up tired even after a full night's sleep? Noticing your stamina isn't what it used to be? Maybe your workouts feel harder, your focus slips, and intimacy isn't as reliable as it once was. Most men over 50 assume it's just aging. But what if I told you that one tiny overlooked seed could naturally support your blood vessels, the very foundation of energy, testosterone flow, and performance? I'm a board-certified urologist, and I've spent decades helping men restore energy, circulation, and confidence safely and naturally, because what's really happening inside your blood vessels might surprise you. If you find this helpful, join our community by subscribing so you never miss videos designed for men like you. But here's what most people don't realize. When your energy starts slipping after 50, it's rarely just about testosterone. I see this every week in my clinic. A good man walks in frustrated. He says, "Doc, I just don't feel like myself anymore." He's more tired in the morning, his workouts feel heavier, his mind isn't as sharp by late afternoon, and yes, his performance in the bedroom isn't as dependable as it used to be. Many good men think it's just aging. They assume this slow fade is normal. I understand why. You're told testosterone drops, so that must be the reason. But the real issue often begins somewhere far more fundamental, inside your blood vessels. After age 50, your arteries don't behave the way they once did. When you were younger, your blood vessels were flexible, elastic. They expanded easily, delivering oxygen and nutrients wherever they were needed. That flexibility is not just about heart health. It's about vitality. It's about how quickly you think, how steadily you move, how confidently your body responds. Over time, that elasticity declines. The inner lining of your arteries, what we call the endothelium, becomes less responsive. Now, let me explain that simply. The endothelium is like the control center of your blood vessels. It tells them when to relax and widen so blood can flow freely. And one of the key messengers it uses is nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a tiny molecule with a massive job. It signals your arteries to open up. When you were 30, your body made plenty of it. But as the years pass, nitric oxide production naturally drops. Add stress, poor sleep, blood sugar fluctuations, and subtle inflammation. And that drop becomes more pronounced. What does that mean for you? It means blood doesn't flow as efficiently, and blood flow, quite simply, is life force for men over 50. When circulation slows, everything suffers. Your brain doesn't receive oxygen as efficiently, so focus fades. Your muscles fatigue faster because nutrients aren't delivered as effectively. And yes, erectile function weakens because erections are fundamentally a blood flow event. If the plumbing isn't strong, the performance won't be either. Sleep can even be affected. Reduced circulation impacts oxygen delivery at night, which interferes with deep restorative sleep cycles. And deep sleep is when hormonal recovery happens. So now you're tired, your testosterone recovery is compromised, and the cycle continues. What makes this more confusing is that your lab work may look normal. I have patients with cholesterol numbers in range, blood pressure that's acceptable, glucose that isn't alarming, yet they feel drained. That's because normal does not always mean optimal. Subtle endothelial dysfunction doesn't always show up in basic labs. It builds quietly over years. There's also silent inflammation to consider. Oxidative stress, which is simply the wear and tear on your cells, accumulates over time. Think of it as rust forming inside pipes. The flow narrows gradually. You don't notice it day to day, but 5-10 years later, the difference is undeniable. And this is where compassion matters, because none of this means you failed. It means your biology changed, and biology can be supported. The good news is that blood vessels respond remarkably well to the right habits. I tell my patients to start simple. Hydrate consistently, because even mild dehydration thickens blood flow. Walk after meals, just 10 to 20 minutes, because muscle movement stimulates nitric oxide production naturally. Protect your sleep schedule. Go to bed at a consistent time so your vascular system has a chance to repair itself overnight. These may sound basic, but small daily actions restore flexibility inside your arteries. And when circulation improves, men often tell me they feel clearer, stronger, more alive. But that's not all. Here's where most men go wrong. They try to, the nitric oxide connection, stimulate performance without fixing the plumbing. And that never works long term. You can push the system temporarily, but if the vessels themselves aren't healthy, the results won't last. So what if there were a natural compound that supports nitric oxide production directly and helps blood vessels relax the way they did years ago, let's talk about the tiny seed that's quietly been studied for exactly this purpose. But here's what most people don't realize. Sometimes the most powerful support for your blood vessels doesn't come from a complex formula or a prescription bottle. It can come from something remarkably small, a seed most men have never paid attention to, one that's been used traditionally for circulation and vitality for generations. And today, modern research is beginning to explain why. I'm talking about black seed, also known as Nigella sativa. Now, I want to be clear, this is not a magic cure. It's not a replacement for medical care. But emerging evidence suggests that certain compounds within this tiny seed may support the same nitric oxide pathways that help blood vessels relax and widen. And that matters more than most men realize. Inside black seed are natural antioxidants and plant compounds that appear to support endothelial health, that delicate inner lining of your arteries we talked about earlier. Remember, when the endothelium functions well, nitric oxide is produced efficiently. When it struggles, circulation declines. In my clinical experience, men over 50 don't need more stimulation. They need restoration. There's a difference. Stimulation is temporary. It pushes the system. You feel a boost, but it fades. Nourishment, on the other hand, supports the underlying biology. It strengthens the foundation. Black seed contains thymoquinone, a compound studied for its antioxidant properties. Oxidative stress, that cellular rust building up inside your vessels, can interfere with nitric oxide availability. Antioxidants help neutralize that stress. By reducing oxidative strain, you allow nitric oxide to do its job more effectively. Some studies also suggest mild vasodilatory effects, meaning the vessels may relax more easily. Again, this is about support, not force. Gentle encouragement of the body's natural pathways. And when circulation improves, the ripple effects can be profound. Better morning energy because oxygen delivery overnight was more efficient. Improved workout recovery because nutrients reach muscle tissue more effectively. Stronger sexual performance because erections rely directly on healthy blood flow. Sharper cognition because your brain is one of the most blood-hungry organs in your body. I've had patients tell me they simply feel clearer, not wired, not overstimulated, just steady. There's also evidence suggesting support for metabolic balance. Stable blood sugar helps protect endothelial function. And some research indicates black seed may contribute modestly to healthy blood pressure regulation, again, through vascular support mechanisms. But let me pause here. If you're currently on blood pressure medication or blood thinners, you must speak with your physician before adding anything new. Natural does not mean risk-free. Your safety comes first. If you choose to explore it, sourcing matters. Look for high-quality standardized extracts from reputable manufacturers. Dosage awareness matters as well. More is not better. The goal is gentle support, not overload. And remember this, no supplement works in isolation. Think of it as reinforcing beams in a house. If the foundation is weak, the beams alone won't fix it. But combined with healthy habits, they strengthen the entire structure. When used thoughtfully alongside hydration, movement, restorative sleep, this tiny seed may help create an environment where your blood vessels function more like they did years ago. And that's the real goal. Not chasing youth, not forcing performance, but restoring flow. Now, here's the mistake most men make. They think one supplement alone fixes decades of vascular strain. It doesn't. This seed works best when combined with one specific habit that multiplies nitric oxide production naturally. And almost no one over 50 is doing it correctly. Let me explain, but here's what most people don't realize. The real power isn't in the seed alone, it's in what you pair it with. Supplements can support the system, but lifestyle determines results. I tell my patients this all the time. If you want your blood vessels to behave like they did at 40, you have to give them a reason to. And there's one simple daily habit that dramatically enhances nitric oxide production and improves vascular flexibility. It's not intense, it's not extreme, and it doesn't require a gym membership. It's consistent, moderate movement, what we call Zone 2 walking. Now, let me explain that in simple, the tiny seed explained terms. Zone 2 is a pace where you can still hold a conversation, but you're breathing a little deeper. Your heart rate is elevated, but you're not gasping. This level of effort stimulates your muscles in a way that naturally increases nitric oxide production. Every Time your muscles contract rhythmically, especially in large groups like your legs. They signal your blood vessels to open wider. It's like telling your arteries, we need more flow down here. Over time, this repeated signal strengthens endothelial function. Small daily effort changes biology. I've seen men in their late 60s transform their stamina not by pushing harder, but by walking smarter. 20 minutes after a meal is especially powerful. Why? Because it helps regulate blood sugar. And stable blood sugar protects the delicate lining of your arteries. High blood sugar, even temporarily, creates oxidative stress. That stress interferes with nitric oxide. So something as simple as a post-dinner walk can reduce that strain and reinforce the benefits of vascular supporting nutrients like black seed. There's another layer most men overlook: breathing. Deep nasal breathing during walking improves vascular tone. When you breathe through your nose, you naturally increase nitric oxide production in your nasal passages. That nitric oxide travels into your lungs and supports oxygen exchange. It sounds small, but compounded daily. It matters. And then there's sleep. Your endothelium, that inner arterial lining, repairs itself during deep sleep. If you consistently get less than 6 hours, repair is incomplete. Over years, that deficit accumulates. I encourage my patients to aim for 7 hours minimum, not because it's trendy, because recovery requires time. Light resistance training twice per week adds another layer of benefit. Muscle tissue acts like a metabolic engine. The more lean muscle you maintain, the better your blood sugar control, the stronger your circulation, and the more resilient your hormonal environment becomes. Notice something important here. None of this is extreme. Consistency beats intensity every time. Men often think they need punishing workouts to reverse aging. They don't. They need sustainable rhythm. 20 minutes of walking after meals, 2 short resistance sessions per week, reduced late night sugar, which spikes insulin and disrupts both sleep and endothelial repair. This isn't about vanity, it's about independence. When your circulation is strong, you maintain your mobility. Your cognition stays sharper. Your energy remains steady enough to enjoy your family, your work, your hobbies. Vascular health is longevity in action. And when you combine moderate daily movement with targeted nutritional support, the effect multiplies. The seed supports nitric oxide production. Movement demands it. Together they reinforce each other. That's how you restore flow. Not through force, not through extremes, but through daily alignment with how your body was designed to function. But there's something even deeper happening at night. Because your blood vessels don't just affect performance, they affect hormone signaling while you sleep. And if nighttime circulation is compromised, testosterone recovery suffers. Let's talk straight about what's really happening after dark. But here's what most people don't realize. Your most important hormone doesn't rise in the gym. It doesn't surge at noon. It's built quietly at night while you sleep. Testosterone production is deeply tied to deep sleep cycles, specifically those early phases of restorative sleep when your brain and body shift into repair mode. If those cycles are fragmented, shortened, or deprived of oxygen, hormone signaling suffers, not because your body forgot how to produce testosterone, but because the environment required to produce it has been disrupted. Many men assume declining testosterone is purely age-related, and yes, levels naturally shift over time, but what I often see in my clinic is something more subtle. It's not that the body can't produce testosterone, it's that the conditions for optimal production aren't there, and vascular health plays a central role in that environment. When blood flow is the multiplier habit strong, oxygen delivery is efficient. Oxygen fuels cellular processes, including hormone synthesis. Nitric oxide helps regulate vascular tone, allowing blood vessels to expand and deliver nutrients to tissues, including the testes and the brain centers responsible for hormone signaling. If nitric oxide production declines and arteries stiffen, circulation during sleep becomes less efficient. That reduced oxygen flow can interfere with the hormonal cascade that normally peaks overnight. Now let's talk about something many men hesitate to discuss: sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is far more common in men over 50 than most realize. It involves repeated pauses in breathing during sleep. Each pause briefly lowers oxygen levels. Each drop stresses the vascular system. Over time, that repeated oxygen deprivation can impair endothelial function and disrupt testosterone rhythms. I've had patients improve their hormone levels simply by addressing sleep apnea without any medication adjustments. That's how powerful oxygen delivery and nighttime circulation truly are. And then there's something very telling, something your body shows you each morning. Morning erections. These are not just about sexual desire. They are vascular events. They occur during REM sleep when nitric oxide levels rise and blood vessels relax. If those warning signals disappear consistently, it can indicate underlying vascular strain long before it shows up elsewhere. That's not meant to alarm you. It's meant to empower you. Because when you improve circulation, confidence follows naturally. Not forced confidence, not artificial stimulation, but quiet assurance in how your body responds. Better sleep supports testosterone. Stronger circulation supports sleep. Healthy nitric oxide signaling supports both. It's a loop, and you can influence it. That's why I encourage men to screen for sleep apnea if they snore heavily, wake frequently, or feel exhausted despite time in bed. A simple sleep study can reveal a great deal. Commit to a consistent sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at roughly the same times. Your circadian rhythm thrives on predictability. Support circulation daily through moderate movement, hydration, and thoughtful nutritional support. And monitor your labs regularly, not obsessively, but responsibly. Track trends, not just single numbers. This isn't about chasing youthful hormone levels. It's about restoring the biological environment your body was designed to operate within. When circulation improves, oxygen delivery improves. When oxygen delivery improves, sleep deepens. When sleep deepens, testosterone signaling strengthens. And when testosterone stabilizes, energy, mood, and performance often follow. So when we talk about a tiny seed opening blood vessels naturally, we're really talking about restoring the foundation sleep, testosterone, and recovery of male vitality, energy, performance, confidence. And here's the part I want you to hear clearly. Decline is common, but it is not inevitable. Let me speak to you directly for a moment. But here's what I want you to understand. Man to man, aging is not failure. Somewhere along the way, many men quietly absorb the idea that slowing down is weakness, that needing support means you've lost something essential. I've sat across from thousands of men in their 50s, 60s, even 70s, strong men, capable men who feel almost embarrassed that their energy isn't what it once was. Let me tell you something clearly. Your body changing does not mean you are broken, it means you are human. And the male body, even after 50, is remarkably responsive when supported properly. I've seen men reclaim stamina they thought was gone for good. I've seen confidence return not because of a miracle drug, but because they began respecting their circulation, their sleep, their daily habits, small adjustments, consistent effort, and over months, the compound effect is undeniable. That's the part most people don't talk about. Small steps compound. A 20-minute walk each evening may not feel dramatic. Choosing water over another late-night drink may seem insignificant. Going to bed 30 minutes earlier might not feel heroic, but biology responds to patterns. When you repeat supportive behaviors, your blood vessels adapt, your sleep deepens, your hormones recalibrate. Masculinity is not about ignoring your health. It's about owning it. Taking responsibility for your body is strength. Getting screened for sleep apnea is strength. Checking your labs and asking informed questions is strength. Choosing nourishment over temporary stimulation is strength. And it is not too late. I don't care if you're 55 or 75. The vascular system retains an incredible capacity for improvement. The endothelium can recover function. Nitric oxide production can increase. Sleep can deepen. Energy can stabilize. Will you feel 25 again? No. And that's not the goal. The goal is sustainable vitality, clear mornings, reliable performance, mental sharpness that lets you stay engaged with the people you love, independence that carries you into the next decade with dignity. I want you to hear this without hesitation. You are not behind. You are not defective. You are not weak for needing support. You are a man whose body is asking for alignment. And when you respond with consistent, intelligent action, your body responds back. You are not broken. Your body is asking for support. And now we close the loop. The surprise was never magic. It wasn't a secret shortcut or a miracle fix. It was your vascular health. The tiny seed we discussed simply supports a system your body already depends on. Nitric oxide, healthy circulation, deep restorative sleep. When those are aligned, energy improves, performance steadies, confidence returns naturally. That's the foundation. Support nitric oxide. Protect your blood vessels. Honor your sleep. If this gave you clarity, join our community and subscribe so you never miss future guidance designed specifically for men over 50. You deserve steady energy, reliable performance, deep restorative sleep. Take care of your circulation. Protect your testosterone. Prioritize your sleep because your health determines your independence. And you, my friend, are absolutely worth that effort.